What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Black Belt Business Podcast. I'm your host, Elliot Marshall, and it is my goal with each episode of this podcast to share the stories, strategies, tactics, tools, and resources that will help you establish or grow your martial arts school. The Black Belt Business Podcast is brought to you by Easton.Online. You can find all of our digital courses, martial arts curriculums, and resources designed to help you enhance your business at Easton.Online. So without further ado, let's jump into the episode. Let's get into this one. This one is like this one's like that dirty whore no one wants to talk about.
I want to talk about it. I fucking love talking about this shit.
You love talking about it. I know. I agree with you. I think it's an important topic that has to be discussed more often. And everyone gets so weird around it, and that is money, man. You know, your finances, all of that stuff. And I'm going to start with something that somebody that I talked to, he's very rich, and he helps me a lot. And I asked him, he's one of our students, the retiring COO of like a $4 billion company. And he was like employee number 7. So yeah, he's done well for himself. And I was like, Brandon, how do you...
Oh, you dropped his name.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't think he cares. Okay. How do you handle this? How do you handle, being wealthy, having money, and on a personal level? And he goes, it says nothing about me.
I would agree about this person.
Yeah.
You would have no clue.
You'd have no clue. He goes, it says nothing about me. Like, I could be a good person, a bad person. I have money. So what? So he's like, I'll talk about it whenever you want. He's like, I don't shy away from the subject. If somebody asks me, I tell them. He's like, if you ask me what my net worth is, I'll tell you. It's just not a thing. Why does it have to be a thing? And the only reason it's a thing is because we make it a thing, is what he said to me. He's like, so don't make it a thing. Talk about money. Don't flaunt it. Don't be like, look how much money I have, but talk about it. And I think sometimes in our businesses, where we're going to bring this to for the businesses, is like, it's like this bad thing almost, like you shouldn't make money. And no, businesses make money.
It's like saying you shouldn't get paid for work.
Right.
Like, okay, cool. I'm going to go work at Starbucks, but we're not going to pay you. What? Why aren't you going to pay me? Well, why shouldn't make money as a business owner? Why should you make money as an employee?
Yeah.
It's so weird. It's weird to me.
And I like having money. I like doing things, and you need money to do some things. Like, I like things that come with that. Now, does it define me or you or anyone? No. But like, I like living a nice life. Do you enjoy the things you have, Mike?
Yeah. I mean, I have a lot of philosophical thought on this subject, but as far as like, do I enjoy the things I have? Yes.
Yeah, it's but it's not who you are. If they went away, you'd still be Mike, and if mine went away, I'd still be Elliot. And I think a lot of this thought comes from like, oh, we don't talk about money, and you need to talk about money because the business won't survive. And you have a nice quote in here. Go ahead.
So actually, comes from, I don't know where he read it, but one of our former general managers who now works for another company, Peter Straub, told me this, and it was so spot on. And the quote is, I'm paraphrasing, profits aren't the goal, but they are the air we breathe. Without them, we can't exist.
Yeah.
So like, it's pretty self-explanatory, but I can elaborate slightly. If the company isn't bringing in profits, unless you're a billionaire, but that doesn't exist, so... That's an anomaly.
Are you a billionaire?
No.
Neither am I.
Or a millionaire, whatever. The business no longer functions and closes. Right? So without profits, we don't exist. Now, is it the goal? No. The goal is to teach fucking badass martial arts and to get people involved in martial arts. That's the goal. But we can't do that unless there's money coming in to pay for the business, to keep the lights on, to pay for the insurance, to pay the employees, to fucking deal with the attorneys and the fucking the taxes, whatever it is.
Dude, to put food on your table to put food on my table and to put food on, right? To live a life, you need money. Like you just have to have it.
You don't have to. No.
Yeah.
No. I fight with you can not
Yeah.
But this is what that looks like, in my opinion. You're either homeless or you can move to the woods and fucking read, fucking Walden and build your own cabin and live off the land. Those are pretty much your options. And that sounds fucking romantic as hell. Maybe not the homeless part, but go for it. Otherwise, shut the fuck up. That's my perspective on it.
I think with my whole rant in the beginning, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, do that or shut up and fucking talk about it.
You don't have to support capitalists. And there's plenty of things wrong with capitalism.
100%.
But we are in a capitalist society, and you get to choose as a consumer where you want to shop. Of course, if you're looking for internet, Comcast is pretty much your only option most of the time. And there's some monopolies that exist, right? Google, like they exist, right? And it is what it is. But like as far as the business we are in, you get a choice.
There's like 30 schools in Denver.
You get to choose where you want to go. And you don't like the way we do things, and that's okay. I wish you the best. I wish you liked us more. I wish we could accommodate you, but you also can get a job somewhere else. Like, I'm not trying to be a dick. I want the best for you, but don't fucking make us the enemy because you don't like the way we do things. If you don't like the way we do things, we're trying, I fucking guarantee harder than 99% of the people out there to create a good culture, a good product, and to do right. But, man, if you don't like it, that's okay.
And we're trying to make money.
Yeah, of course we're going to fucking make money.
We're trying to make money. 100%. We are trying to make money. So, how do you make money? What only on the finance end here. We're not talking about the good product and the sales and all that stuff, right? Like when you're looking at your finances, what's the number one? I'll go first. I think the number one thing you have to do is you have to fucking track them, right? Because you can't fix what you don't measure, no matter where it is.
Look at jiu-jitsu. You want to be good at jiu-jitsu or MMA? If you're fucking training and you're losing every fight or every fucking jiu-jitsu match or every Muay Thai match, you're not running a successful something. Right? Like it is a measure to either your skill, like you shouldn't be in this, or your training. Right? You can make this metaphor across the board.
Yeah.
You're doing something wrong and you have to fix it.
So track it.
Track it.
P&Ls. A lot of people we work with get tax returns. They get, like at the end of the year or whenever you do your taxes, and they're like, this is what I made this year. That's not tracking it. That is not paying attention, right?
And that's not what you made. How much did the government take?
Right. Your P&L has to be done, in our opinion, on a monthly basis. Yes?
Oh, yeah.
Even when we had one or two schools, a mall still had P&Ls.
Yep. Always.
You have to see what you're doing. For everyone that is like just dirt brand new here, what does a P&L need to include? What is a P&L, Mike?
Yeah, of course. You have to have your top line, your COGS, your payroll, and your expenses. Yeah, I'll break them each down, and then your operating or net operating income. And on the basic level, what you need is money coming in, which is your revenue or gross revenue. Your money going out, which is your expenses, like all the stuff you use to run your business and your payroll. And then whatever gross is minus expenses equals your profit. That is your success of the business, and keeping it as super high level. That's just a cash basis profit and loss. We're not going to get into the difficulties of accounting and accrual and all that. Money coming in, money going out, what's left over, that's what you made.
Yes. You said a word, COGS. What's COGS?
COGS is cost of goods sold. So if you have like a pro shop, and again, I'll stay out of the nuances of different ways to do this, but if you have a pro shop, that is your COGS. So like I bought $1,000 worth of shirts. So it cost me $1,000, and that's your COGS. And then I sold them for $2,000. So I made $1,000 on that $1,000.
So revenue minus COGS is your income.
Correct.
Yes. Is your net and gross income.
Sorry. Yeah, your income. Exactly. Your gross income. Correct.
Yes, gross income. Okay. So you have to include COGS. You have to include cost of goods sold.
Yes.
Because that is not necessarily an expense, right?
Yes, that is there's also like where they're categorized on your P&L will dictate taxes.
Yeah.
So your COGS have their own little category right below revenue, but above expenses.
Right. Okay. And then you just know every month, and we look at these, right? Yeah. Every month they go out and we look at them and we look at them and we look at them and we send them to every single general manager.
And our PDs and HQ.
PDs get them too. Mm-hmm. Oh, nice. Okay.
I would like to send them to the whole team, but that takes a little bit more training on taxes.
On taxes.
And that's just a lot of work. It's taking me years to get some GMs up to speed. Years. And we'll get rid of those explanations.
Yeah,
later.
I mean, let's just understand that. Like, there is an idea that you share your P&L with everyone. The hard part is if somebody doesn't understand taxes, they do think the owners are just stupidly rich.
Well, there's also the piece of, even though you have your net income, like say you're a cash basis. What I mean by that is everything you pull in May and everything you send out in May gets on the bottom line, right? That's your net income. But even as a cash basis, you still have to put in capital expenditures. Meaning, say you spend $50,000 on mats, that shouldn't hit your P&L right away because it's not good for taxes because you want to depreciate that over time, which helps. And your CPA handles all this for you. So like even that, like if you buy $50,000 on mats and that's not going to hit the P&L as $50,000, the owners aren't getting that money. The bank account's going to be fucked. But it's not an operating income, so you usually don't talk about those big capital expenditures.
Look, in the last episode, we talked about Boulder doing a renovation. Mm-hmm. The renovation does not hit the P&L.
It will over 5 years.
Right. Okay. But we Amal, you Amal, the owners, we take distributions quarterly. We had to take less of a distribution from Boulder because we had to keep money in there,
correct,
to pay for this expenditure that we knew was coming, right? So the P&L looks different than the actual cash coming to owners.
Yeah. So to get into not the weeds, because this is really, I'll give some good references. There's three income statements that matter to run a business. You have your profit and loss, which is what we share with the general, which is what you use as your basis to operate the business. After that, you have your balance sheet, which has all of your big CapEx expenditures, your loans, all of that on it. And your final one is your cash statement. And that's actual cash in, cash out. And that will reflect the capital expenditure. But because we don't consider that as part of the profit and loss, it's not actually, if we spend $50,000 on mats, say, right? The general manager who is on profit sharing shouldn't feel a $50,000 hit on his profit sharing. It's unfair to him, right? So it doesn't fit into that category. What we'll do is we'll take that $50,000, we'll put it on the balance sheet as a long-term asset, and a long-term asset is any thing that sits in the balance sheet for more than a year, where short-term is less than a year. Like a computer, you put that on for a short-term asset. But the long-term asset, like we'll say mats, would sit on the balance sheet at $50,000. And every month for that 5 years, we would take a little chunk out of the P&L. So what you would see is a category for depreciation. So that $50,000 on the balance sheet. And there would be a schedule that hits monthly. We'll say it's
just go 500 a
$500
month.
Bucks a month, right?
Right.
$500 a month on the expense. That depreciation expense would hit the expense, and the GM would feel that because they're getting the positive pieces of the mats. But we're not going to crush them with that $50K. And then there's also the tax side of depreciation and amortization helps with taxes and how that looks over the long term. So they can get more in the weeds, and I have a great book for you all to read on this. It's easy.
Yeah, I mean, like what you have to do, that was my next thing, is you have to educate yourself.
Yeah.
You know, like what this comes down to is you have to learn a little bit about finance. Look, Mike knows way more about finance than I do, but you have to know COGS, you have to know depreciation, you have to know balance sheet, you have to know accrual versus cash. You have to do and spend some time learning the nature and the subject of finance if you want to run a business, not a boys club like we talked about on a previous podcast.
You want to know what money is coming in for the future and how to like make plans for the business. Like we were able to put money into Boulder. I think it's going to be around $50K. That's not including mats. We're able to do that because we plan for it, you know? So that's why it works. So you have what you're going to make. Now, yeah, go ahead.
When you say plan for it, one of the things that was hardest for me when I bought in, right, is I I would look at and this is when I knew nothing about finance, right? I'm still trying to learn how to run the CRM at this point, you know? One of the things that was the hardest for me is I would look at these profit and loss statements and I'd be like, okay, yeah, well, next month this won't be there. And then next month shows up and that wasn't there, but something else was. And that wasn't there, but something else was. And this is when I was like, okay, I have to know that something's always going to be there.
Yeah, there's always going
to be there. One. And then two, you've got there's no way to plan for the future if you're not learning how to include the something else's or the save here because this is coming or something like that to be able to make it so that you can start to profit and make money. You've got to understand these terms and what's going on to make that happen for yourself. You were going to say something. Go ahead.
No, I just thinking this was ready. So Amal told me a long time ago, Amal Easton, that he's like, you have to be educated in a way so you can have intelligent conversations with your vendors. That doesn't mean you have to be an expert. And this goes true for anything. I don't do Muay Thai, right? But we have a big Muay Thai program. So I'm pretty educated enough in Muay Thai where I can go and have a conversation with our Muay Thai coach about that. And this is where people kind of miss the boat. Like they're like, oh, well, I don't do that. Why should I pay attention to it? Man, I don't give a fuck. If your fucking kid decides to do ballet, you better fucking learn about ballet so you can fucking be connecting with your kid. Like that excuse pisses me off. Anything that says I don't know or that's not my job, there is nothing that's gonna there are few things that'll make me as angry as that. That shit pisses me off because it's like, man, that's just laziness. So like, sorry, got on a tangent there. So when you're looking at your business, there is you're not just a fucking employee teaching jiu-jitsu anymore, right? You are running a business and a business has lots of buckets that have to be understood. And that means everything has to matter equally. Of course, you can pour into jiu-jitsu and that could be all your time on the mat, but everything else has to get the same amount of understanding and attention so you can make sure those buckets are taken care of. So you got to educate yourself.
Yeah, look, Sean Madden. Sportfy.
I thought it was Rob Loud.
No.
Just like him. Except he was all dressed up.
Oh, yeah, it does. Sean Madden. He's to go the other way. He's our Muay Thai guy.
Exactly.
But he understands a little bit about finance. He understands a little bit about money in, money out. Like this is a profit. This is this is revenue. This is an expense. Is he doing the books? Fuck no. No, he's not doing the books. He's not sitting there, scrolling through. Like you send him the profit and loss. He's not scrolling through each category going boom, 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 boom. But he knows, okay, look, I have to pay attention to this. As the program director, the GMs, same thing. It's not their job to understand the nuances of the taxes.
No.
But they all are a little educated on finance.
Yeah.
And as they grow, we ask them to be more and more educated around the finances of the business.
To be clear, right? This podcast is for GMs and business owners, not program directors.
No.
A program director is the technician that is a nerd on that product.
Yes.
So Sean is a nerd in Muay Thai. That is what we want Sean to do. I want him to fucking be obsessed with Muay Thai, and he is. And that's his role. That's his job. But when you're a general manager, it's in the fucking title. It's the same as a business owner. You have to have a broad scope. That doesn't mean you can't specialize, because you can. But you got to have a broad understanding, like what a clean bathroom looks like. Fucking even a little bit of plumbing, right? How to look at a pair of books, how to look at the jiu-jitsu class and the Muay Thai class and the kids class. It's all under your scope, right? That means you can still hire people to do all these jobs, but you have to have intelligent conversations, because if you don't, your accountant could fuck you. Your CPA could fuck you. You go and ask, well, you don't even know what...
Your lawyer could fuck you.
You don't. I read books on attorneys, right?
Yeah.
I've read, legal business books. You have to educate yourself so you can have... This is it right here. You have to educate yourself if it touches your business so you can have intelligent conversations with the professionals of that area.
Think about it like an ER doctor.
Yeah.
Right?
Broad scope.
If you're having a heart attack, you don't see the cardiologist.
Yeah.
The first person you go to the ER, that motherfucker saves your life because he knows a little bit about cardiology, and then you go to the cath lab and they fix your shit. right? If your kidneys are failing, the ER doctor keeps you alive and then sends you to, is it endocrine? I think it's endocrine, whatever the fuck it is, right? They send you to that doctor, right?
Yeah.
Who's a specialist in that area. But the ER doctor knows a little bit about everything.
Yeah.
Right? Everything. So when it comes to this finance end, you have to kind of be an ER doc.
You're a detective.
Yeah.
Ian talks about this all the time. You have to be to be a successful business owner and general manager. They're the same in my opinion, honestly, except you deal less with taxes. You have to be a detective.
And the finance end, as much as we don't want to talk about it, as much as you don't want to say you make money, which is just not like, I think we just got to get out of that. You make money, man. Like if you're doing this,
We'll move to Korea otherwise.
Yeah.
North Korea.
Yeah.
We'd be happy there.
Make money. Make money. Please make money. That is our stance. Our stance is not be broke and be this nomad that, you know, teaches martial arts for the good of the warrior spirit, or whatever, you know. Please make money. It's actually important if you're living in society. You have to learn about finances. You have to. And then you got to learn about your personal finances.
Yeah, they're one and the same, especially if you're the sole business owner.
Mm-hmm. You can't have bad personal finances and good business finances. It's impossible. Because if your personal finances suck, you're going to need more money from the business, right? If you're running at a deficit every fucking month in your life, then you're going to be asking more of the business to pay for that, and that ruins the business. Because you have to understand too, the business is only going to profit a certain amount.
Mm-hmm. I think so we can circle back on finance, just because I know I get wrapped up in certain things that probably aren't that useful, but I think they're interesting. Educating yourself. This doesn't mean you need a doctorate in finance, but you need to put time aside for the education. And I'll talk about me personally. Like, this is how I did it. One, like Elliot talked about, you need mentors. Like that have done it before, that are very successful in whatever realm you're interested in, whether it's jiu-jitsu, whether it's finance, or realms that you need to be interested in. Those mentors will really help guide you, because you're going to read books and watch tutorials, and those are important. But without the mentors, they can't help you work through the nuances that you don't understand. It matters to have a teacher. So find the teachers. But first,
if all you do is read books and all that, like, it helps, you'll get good.
You get a lot.
But it's like learning jiu-jitsu off BJJ fanatics.
Yes.
You still need a teacher.
So obviously you need to have a teacher, and that can be anybody. It's usually someone on your mat. That's the beauty of jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai. There's somebody in your class that is a ninja in finance. Yeah. So there's that. But then when it comes to education, you start small. Like, there's this great book called Financial Intelligence by Joe Knight, and then he has a course too that mimics the book. I give this book to everybody, and I have them watch the course, and I think, and it's easy and it's fun. I think like 10% of people do it. That's important. And then there's another book for the personal side. There's like 3 awesome books, but I think I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi is another great book that I think in comparison, they can really help you understand what you're trying to do and how to understand your finance in a really simple step-by-step way. And I
also love, on the personal side, I also love A Simple Path to Wealth.
Older one, but
older
amazing.
one, but great. And I also love Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Oh yeah, changed my life.
Yeah, changed my life.
Changed my life.
And I read Rich Dad Poor Dad twice.
Oh yeah,
and it changed my and it made me think differently both times. Like once as a broke 20-year-old, and then I read it again like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, as like quote unquote successful.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like the E-Myth. You read that and it's like, whoa. It hits you differently.
How did I miss this? Like, how did I miss this last time? So, those are some great books.
I wholeheartedly double down on what you just said. All of those books they were literally life-changing books for me.
Life-changing.
Every single one of those.
Yeah, life-changing.
The financial intelligence was not life-changing, but for your team and for yourself to get your what do you call it? Your teeth wet? What am I supposed to say?
Your feet wet.
Your feet wet? Jesus Christ. Yeah. To get your feet wet, that is a really good start.
And I don't know, and I'm throwing this out there, just kind of randomly thought in my head. I think you have to start with the personal before the business. Because if you can't get your personal in line a little bit, the business is going to be very hard, in my opinion.
I think it depends on the person. I don't disagree with that though. But then the other part is just, so there's this is my triangle I talked about. There's your reading, your teacher, and then your practical, right? And this is how jiu-jitsu is, right? Same thing, or Muay Thai, like you hit pads, you have your teacher to help fix your things, and then you compete, right? Same thing with jiu-jitsu. Same thing with finance. Like you have your books and your education, you have the teacher that's helping you understand it, and then you have your practical knowledge over here where you actually apply it. So then the next piece, you have your readings, whatever your study is, you have your teacher, and to nail it all in, you have to apply it, right? And that's where like you have your QuickBooks Online account. Everybody should have a QBO account. There's no reason to use anything else. And then you have an accountant that costs like $100 a month.
QuickBooks Online.
An accountant's are like $100 to $250 a month. We have a business, Art of the Dog, another business of ours. Mm-hmm. That business is cranking out money, right? And we pay, but we pay $250 a month for our accountant. It hasn't changed since we were making $10,000 a year to what we're at now, you know? And it's still the same price. So get a fucking accountant. They'll give you the P&L, and then you start learning, and you have monthly meetings with them to understand what's happening. So you need to apply it all, you know? And then the last piece of this triangle, which I really love, is you fucking teach it to somebody else, right? Like these 4 things really matter. Learn it, have a teacher, apply it, teach it. That's how you get, if you want to be an expert at something, that's how you do it.
So square.
Square, yeah. It's like the triangle with the thing in the center. Triangles are so strong. I guess the square makes more sense.
Anyway, guys, pay attention. Talk about it. Okay? Talk about it. We need to change this stigma of talking about talking about money and finances. It's okay. Don't flaunt it. You know? Don't flaunt it with your Gucci bags and your fucking Lambos. I mean, I guess you can buy a Lambo if you want. I wouldn't mind having a Lambo if I could.
Please
don't buy a Lambo. Me?
Yeah. Don't buy a Lambo.
But man, have money, make money, enjoy your life. That's it.
I find that shit inspiring. I was broke as fuck, and I was like, oh man, look at these people making money and do what they want to do. Yeah. I need to learn how to do that too.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I remember one of the things that Amal told me, like he just it popped in my head. He bought himself a car when he opened Denver, and it got to this amount, right? And it got here, and he didn't buy something crazy. It wasn't nuts. It wasn't a Lambo, but like you get to reward yourself a little too. It's like work hard, reward yourself. It's not terrible. No. You know, it's not terrible. So that's it. We're Easton.Online, Easton.Online, at Easton.Online, at Fire Marshal 205. If you have questions, Mikey at Mikey Mike Phipps. Let's go. We'll help you.